Hello there, beloved Ascension Pioneers, family of light. Welcome to another short Ascension update with me, Polona, your Ascension guide. Today I want to talk about a few basics that we're going through energetically. And if you feel yourself aligned with these energies and with these updates, do feel free to share along and do comment also on the Facebook page. Share your insights with the rest of us. Before I start speaking about what I feel is important, I will read to all of you who are not following on Facebook what I wrote yesterday about the energies that are coming up, the feelings. It's all not just the astrological aspects, but how energy feels when we tune into it. And when I tune into it to this is how it feels. If you're still feeling this differently, it means you're just maybe tapping into another timeline. But like I say, you can always shift. And after doing my yesterday's light activation on embodying our soul, I would like to make this update especially on embodying our soul and how it feels and what spirit is guiding us to do. Also, to change every aspect of us energetically, what we say, what we do, how we respond, how we connect to one another, all these aspects that are important when we start embodying our soul. What I wrote was that we're entering a very creative week, because also I keep receiving messages about being creative, but from the heart flow. Not, sometimes we do some things to please other people, or do some projects that maybe still are not fully aligned with our soul. But now this is shifting because our heart chakra has expanded in huge ways. So being creative from this heart flow means that we are being fully alert and aligned with our intuitive side of life, the flow of the divine feminine. So being creative more through the flow of inspiration, just flowing. If you're not inspired, don't do. Know the balance and harmony of non-action while taking the right steps towards fulfilling our heart desires, which is action. So with this new moon that is coming up on Wednesday, it's an Aries, and it's a powerful activator for new energy, new birth, number one, new beginnings. And the Aries energy in general. We feel sometimes, this can make us feel like we wish to just totally liberate ourselves, like free ourselves completely and just start something brand new. Sometimes we won't feel what that is, but there's a feeling, and the feeling itself is enough to sort of guide us in that direction. A lot of us might feel like we need to get out of the routine. Old things that we might have had huge beliefs around them just suddenly can get like this, dispersed into nothingness. We can also feel like we want to travel more or move somewhere completely different. I was just talking about this locational astrology with my astrologer friend, and it's amazing what kind of insights we can receive through connecting with these lines that we have, when we're birthed at a certain place, and then the lines associated with certain planets and planetary aspects, how they can show where we have certain alignments. And sometimes even it's important for us to see where certain lessons were and what they were connected with. To have that proper understanding what we were working through when we were doing the soul merging. And now where we wish to align ourselves more with the harmonious aspect. In the old, we were still learning a lot through the opposites. Now we're learning through our direct mirrors to just be who we are. For instance, my friend said to me that she rarely, in the old, with the relationships charts, she used to see more of the dynamics of differences, like, contrast. We were learning through contrast. And when you're not whole yourself and complete, you wish to have that contrast to mirror at you what you still have not integrated within yourself. But when you are whole, you more strive for the partnership that mirrors you exactly. So kind of like the same but different energy, like polarized opposites, but they're the same energy. There's a lot of these couplings right now that are merging all over the planet. Okay, this was about this aspect. So also we like I said, we wish to move more to a space that is more aligned with us, because maybe where we're now, we were located a lot to be a lighthouse, to provide this energy vortex, but also to learn a lot. Sometimes we were not embodied in the aspects of total harmony. For instance, we saw that my location where I am right now is a lot connected with the Pluto aspect and Saturn, which is all about transformation and healing and coming into your essence and just working on yourself. But now I don't feel aligned with this energy anymore. So it's changing. Everything is really changing. So basically, a lot has to also do with us coming to just wish to do something different, like commune with nature more and other people more, and to be co-creative and joining cooperation, great harmony, to just visit people who are very close to us, dear to our hearts. We don't no longer say, oh, but I don't have the means, I don't have the resources, I can't. We just sort of feel more expansive. We know we can do anything. The root of all of this is our sacred self reunion, which is taking place right now. And of course, this is like it's like feels we're being freed from the shackles of our old selves, which were a lot of times connected with limitations, false beliefs that we inherited in this body when we came here. A lot of us coming as volunteers, we didn't have our own stuff to deal with, but we take upon these things that we know we will have to purge through this body. So it becomes our own because we have agreed upon it. So it is our sacred contract. So this is now being dissolved by the love of the sacred fire as we integrate more of our true authentic self every single day. We wish to be like a butterfly in the spring. A lot of people all over the world are having these visions now about butterflies, and Great Sister of Light has replied yesterday to my activation that during the activation she saw literally butterflies coming out of her heart. You see, it's what we're becoming. So it's kind of like butterfly in the spring that just allows itself to be flown, carried by the wind, doesn't know where it's going to go, but it trusts, it's just floating. It's like butterfly is one of my favorite animals. So we wish to be the same. We kind of feel this need to just be like gypsies, to just be carried with the wind, to free ourselves. For instance, a lot of the information is coming towards me about travel or just freeing ourselves. Being independent, working from your tiny sacred space around you and knowing that you already within you possess enough resources to do that. There's a lot of people who are teaching people how to become self-independent with the work you're doing from home or from your car even, it's people who are spreading news about this and teaching others how to do this through, I don't know, teleseminars, telecourses, Skype, so many things we have available. Only if you see that option, only if you see that the old just needs to be replaced and you're doing it and you have these conscious choices that lay in front of you now. So it feels expansive. So we're just, like I said, going with the flow of life because that's how it is in creation. It all just flows. So with the rising flames, also with our solar deity, because this is happening right now, we just had solar outburst on Friday, and then we had CMEs coming to Earth this weekend. People who are experiencing purging again, the physical level, the mental and emotional. How it is with these flames of our sun that the same, we are raising our frequency as well. And you have to understand that the sun will always download or kind of transmit the codes from the great central sun, which is the source of all creation in this particular universe. And we will kind of put the energy out while it's bursting out. It knows how to spread it along different planetary systems and when. It's all in divine order. So Earth receives this information. We receive it as well because light packages are information, and then we download it, then we integrate it. We need to embody it. Sometimes people need more time to rest, to nurture themselves. A lot of time you need to drink more water. Sometimes you'll be even drawn to eating more food when you're grounding these energies. And it's all in a perfect order, like I say. It's like we're igniting the fire of our soul essences, which fuel our passionate side of life. So we may feel more inclined to do more things, that we haven't been taking enough time to create until now. But now we just wish to do that. I wish to be totally free. I'm talking to people all over the world, and a lot of us feel like this now. So it feels like there was never a better time to be truly free and independent and self-resourceful than now. And if you find yourself guided to just sometimes, I don't know, maybe even drive somewhere, do something unique and special, join with others who are just like you, like minds, like hearts, your soul family, your group. So groups are gathering around the planet right now, all over the place. So if you feel those nudges, go ahead. Sometimes I'm thinking I have friends almost in every country, and there were a lot of people who were offering me and saying, you're always welcome here if you ever come. And, we have to think more in a more expanded way. Really, it's not all connected with money. You can do everything once you just surrender to spirit, and the energy will flow there. Abundance will flow there because you are that abundance. So when you're venturing into something new with that consciousness, it will all be taken care of for and provided through your own self. So we were all born for greatness, but now it's like it's time we truly step into it. We need to claim and embody it. Because otherwise, we don't get things anymore in the new. We first need to embody them so that we magnetize them, that things align also in our physical realities. It's like the world is our oyster, and we are just totally getting to understand and feel our juiciness, and it's waiting for us, for all of us. So we're shifting deeply, and we feel so much more expanded. It just feels, it's a feeling that we can't describe. But today I got this guidance, for instance. I wanted to reply to a certain comment that was there for my light activation. And I remember I wanted to reply much gratitude or I'm grateful for that, but I just couldn't. And I asked Spirit, what is this? Why can't I write? Because a lot of times how I wish to write, how something wants to come through me, I will notice the change, the shift within me. Like when I started writing the I am with capital letters, it was Spirit telling me, I am. You keep saying not the little I, it's not the ego I, it's the big, the greatness of your being, the light of your being. So I was really encouraged to do that, to write this way. So today I heard, no, the energy is shifting. So it's kind of like we're more aligning with our soul essence, with our highest source essence. So it's like the energy came and said, shift. So instead of saying, I am grateful, say, I am gratitude, because in this way you focus on the soul essence, or I am grace, I am divine love. You see, and then you feel the energy, how it feels more expansive when you kind of interact and communicate this way. You are communicating your soul directly, through the fusion with this body. So it's kind of a very different energy. You might think that it's a tiny change, a slight change, but it's a huge change and transition. So this way you keep claiming you keep speaking your soul language. And it really, you can feel the difference if you just tune into the energy of it. Also, it feels like the old things or the dramas and things from the past, we just can no longer attach to them. Whenever I see something that's happening that's not aligned with my energy, it's just, when I think of my older self, how it used to sometimes respond to it, it was much different. Now it's just, you become this observer, you're totally detached, you know that you feel compassion for everything and everyone, but you also know that you as an individual, unique soul essence, you're here for you. You have your own journey. You can't follow another. You can't give power to another. You can only become self-empowered. And this way, everything just becomes this great play, like this beautiful music written by the divine. And everything seems like poetry. Everything is in flow. And lately I've been interacting with people who really mirror my soul essence. And it's just been brilliant because you can see that you have family, even if sometimes you don't have it directly here in the physical. You have family and they understand you. And with each one of them, you will recognize your soul family members and or people you have these sacred contracts with, that you're going to create something together. You have a purpose together. It just feels like you're in flow. There's no control with these people. It's just, you flow through synchronicity of spirit. You flow. It's just really beautiful. It's a beautiful exchange. And when I've been interacting, for instance, with a certain person lately, it's just, it reminded me of my inner magic that sometimes we forget. It's like everything can become magical again like this. It's like life is a fairy tale, and you get these insights of how we really leave signs for each other here to remember ourselves. When we really come here on earth, we have this amnesia, and up there in spirit, we kind of plan things. We say, you know what? I'll send you this, I'll give you this, I'll give you clues, I'll leave you clues for you to remember that we know each other and we have something to do here. We have a purpose, or we are agreed to meet one another. And this is all happening now, but it's us who are expanding. And through this inner expansion, the perception changes and we notice things that we might have not noticed before. Either we were too busy, either our old patterns were kind of blocking us. So, the typical self-sabotage archetype, or we were just not there yet energetically. We needed to experience something else. Okay, so the last thing I want to address is symptoms. A lot of the people, again, is asking me about symptoms. Symptoms will always be there. They're a part of the ascension process. But you need to understand, every one of us, as where we are in our ascension journey, we will have different symptoms. Also, we're becoming more sensitive to energy. So the more that you just still try to go into that old drama and feed that energy, we'll see that it doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve your body. Because lately, I remember watching a video from a sister of light that she sent me, and she was describing the dynamics of how she does work and channeling with her guides. And she said masters will never stay here for long because they already then have to descend to frequency. If you're having a relationship or situation with someone who's feels more dense and more drama, and you're just not there in your life anymore, you're in flow, you're in magic, you're in that beautiful spirit essence and guidance, it feels like when you enter the reality, because literally when you decide to share an intimate relationship, you become a part of it. It's like you either are pushing each other growing, trying to grow, or just trying to, it's either through flow or not flow, but it's either you move away. So if you're together and if you share something and if it doesn't feel expansive and blissful and radiating, it feels it's still within the old. And a lot of times this can happen. So now it feels like this totally different thing. And we recognize these things and we can bless these parts of us. We can know that they were there for a certain reason, but it just feels different. So these kind of interactions can cause us to have certain symptoms, because when we come to their frequency, it's like, it's like this. Someone can get there too fast and another one can be, descending, at the same time. It's like they both need to be where they are. So we need to know, we need to start embodying our soul, how it is rightful for us in that moment. And we need to always decide for ourselves. And when you have symptoms for you, or when you have symptoms because you're sharing energy space with someone who's pulling you down, you need to be discerning about this and notice the difference. So, for instance, when I was alone, I never had these things like difficulties with my digestion. And so when I came into contact with someone of the lesser frequency and when I made things my own, which were not my own, and I gave myself excuses that it's okay, and I took on that baggage that was not really mine, I hurt myself and I hurt my body, and my body was experiencing all these symptoms. And I think it was the same when I was reading it in Sal Kelly's book. He says the same thing about energy, high energy beings. They can't stay in the lower realms for too long. They already descend. So focus on your ascension. Focus on where you need to be. Focus on you always feeling radiant and blissful and expansive. You don't need to feel like crap anymore. It's just like, it's a decision. Every time you will still give power away, you consciously decide to feed the old timeline and the old patterns, even if another has them. And if you're sharing a relationship, it doesn't mean that you're helping or serving them if you decide to go that road as well. You need to always decide for yourself. This is what it means to embody your soul. And about the symptoms, I want to also add, there are certain parts of our body being activated right now, like I said, depending on where you are in your ascension journey. But how I would describe for me, this area around my ears and here in the back of the head, something is changing this week. There was a lot of pressure. This weekend, especially with the solar activity, this was enhanced. I've seen this this change in this area is how we listen, how we tune in. It's like this channel is more coming into connection with the heart. And we're now starting to listen more with the heart. Sometimes the mind gets still plugged in, or this area, it's like you only want to see things. But sometimes how we see or hear or read things, it's not always like the energy. I'll give you an example. What is happening is a lot with us who are tuning into this purest vibration of our soul is we sense things. For instance, someone can write something to you or say something to you, and they will say it in a certain way to say, but this is this energy, I feel like this and like that. But when you're attuned to the highest potential, you will feel that. You don't feel that from coming from them. You will feel the vibration. You won't feel the words. So everything that's still hidden there, you will know. You will see. You will see beyond the veil. You don't need to tell them. You don't need to, say anything to anyone, because truth knows its source. Just stay in your energy. Stay in your source and bless everything as it is. But be aware of your own inner discernment and intuition that knows. So this center, sometimes I feel like this energy comes like this, like waves, and it starts getting all ticklish. And I know that something is being adjusted here in this area, how I'm listening. And this week I was getting messages constantly, listening, tuning in. And it's tuning in, but through a higher frequency band. Like we're tuning our hearing frequency and we're noticing things more, So this is very important. Focus on the energy that's coming through. It's not about the words. It's not about how someone mimics something or expresses something. It's the energy that's being sent towards you, and the pure channel for source energy that you are, the more you will see through all the veils. It's not about others. It's about you. It's about me. It's about us, each and every one of us. This is the most important update I've received. Choose your soul. Choose you. Source calling you. You're being called towards within, towards your soul. And if you still haven't done the light activation to embody your soul, you can do it. You can find it in my videos and on the playlist for light activations. I'll be sharing with all of you whenever I receive whatever I receive soon. Until then, until next time, I love you lots. Take care. Bye.